Indra. Mandalam 1, Suktam 30A. Rishi,
Shunah Shepa Ajigarti.
Devata,
Indra, Ashwinau, Ushas,
Chandas,
Gayatri, Pada Nitrit, Trishtubh.
Mandalam 1, Suktam
30.
Rik 1.
Avayindram krinim yathavajayantah sadakratum mumdhishtam sinjayindubhih.
To all of you, verily, I pour out with words of wisdom, to Indra, just as to a leather bag, seekers of abundance, to the doer of actions multitude, granting most abundantly. Stature diminishing of immortals by intellect deficient mortals. The truth that existence is a unitary system, a whole that has been categorized by mortals into situational functionalities which appear to have distinctive traits but are essentially locus-specific expressions of the unitary whole. For being able to comprehend its complexity of operation can be inferred from the allusion to Indra as the representative of all divinities in this verse. Also inferable is the notion that formful gods are human projections of themselves and their own traits upon natural phenomena, personifying them because humans can only understand things that can be related to experiences within their ken, which, being a mortal, is quite limited. Seekers of the abundance of universal knowledge primarily strive to unshackle themselves from this limitation, a pursuit that apparently flies in the face of logic, as attaining immortality upon a mortal frame is a logical impossibility. Or perhaps dependence on logic as we know it, based on its applicability to phenomena that we are familiar with in the material world, itself is the limitation. Maybe there is more to logic than what mortals can comprehend. This unknown or suspected deficiency makes them to diminish the stature of immortal phenomena to mortal levels, which is perhaps a disservice to all concerned, but also the best that mortals can accomplish, given their constraints. The comparison of the personified regulatory system of nature, Indra, representing universal knowledge, to a water-filled leather bag is a good example of this stature-diminishing process. Humans, knowing that their own skin, leather-covered form, bag, has 80% water content, and their penchant for equating water with knowledge aids them to this feat, and perhaps a commendable one too, considering the narrow intellectual latitude that we have been granted.
Mandalam 1, Suktam
30.
Rik 2.
Tatam vayasvajeenam sahasram vasamasiram yedo nimnam nariyate.
Besides, He who verily flows to the depths like 100 of pure, clean, and clear, or 1,000 of mixed, assuredly. Probability distribution of possible human understanding. The allusion to truths as a flowing fluid with the additional reference of it flowing to the depths is possibly an expression of the understanding that it is the natural force of gravity that causes it to flow thus. There never has been a mention so far in the Vedas of a liquid river of truth flowing upwards, defying gravity. Even in metaphoric disquisitions, Rigvedic thought strictly adheres to the fundamental laws that govern the material world, as they too are truths. The mention of 100 pure, clean, and clear, and 1,000 mixed truths possibly refers to the intellect deficiency of mortals and can be represented by the normal probability distribution curve or the bell curve. A narrow vertical band at the center of the curve with maximum height or even near maximum height denotes those truths that human intellect is fully wired to comprehend. This constitutes the 100 that are pure, clear, and clean truths. There are, however, another 900 truths, just a representative number, that are complete truths as well, but not fully comprehensible by human intellect, hence mixed. In other words, we as mortals can at best get to know 1 in every 10 truths that make existence work the way it does. Our understanding of the other 9 will be part actual and part speculative. Perhaps the notion of consciousness too is one of these 9, fully known only when experienced.
Mandalam 1, Suktam
30.
Rik 3.
संयन्मदाय सुष्मिण येनाह्यस्योदरे समुद्रो नव्यशो दधे.
Because when, for powerful intoxication of this one, he has thus held altogether an expansive ocean-like interior. Methodical madness and desultory lunacy. Holding on to the thread of thought from the previous verse, there indeed seems to be more to logic and reasoning associated with existence than what we are aware of. Like there is a method to every madness. Existence too, which is surely much more organized, synchronized, and purposeful, even if the purpose is incomprehensible as compared to any methodical madness, will certainly have its definite ways of operation. True desultory lunacy is perhaps the baseless reviling of associated Vedic truths like yoga, Ayurveda, Jyotisha, and the like, without an unbiased and intensive study and its application to prove or disprove its veracity and effectiveness in the light of such an exercise. Indra, as the imagined herder of cows or clouds, is himself the largest of all repositories of truth, its extent casually and awkwardly compared with the disproportionate anatomical peculiarity of humans projected upon the hapless personified Indra. However, the message conveyed is quite clear and is neither casual nor awkward. It emphasizes that all truths associated with the universe are contained within Indra. Also, it is not Indra who is intoxicated, but we mortals, having deduced the stated fact and celebrating it, even if we may not get to know 9 of 10 of those truths due to our inherent constraints. The conceptual Indra has been around since the advent of existence and has been at his permanent and inveterate job long before humans even appeared.
Mandalam 1, Suktam
30.
Rik 4.
अयमूते समादसि कपोदा इव गर्भधिम् वटस्तश्चिन्नवोहसे
This altogether yours. Go constantly like dove to breeding place. Mark this our word. Soma, synonymous with the moon, plant sap and immortality. The word Soma, which is implied when it is said, "This altogether yours," appears to have many connotations. The moon is referred to as Soma. A species of plant is called Soma, and the word is used as a metaphor for growth and well-being and extended to cover the notion of immortality, on the reasoning that growth and well-being in perpetuity, even if seeming to be a utopian thought by mortal reckoning, is immortality. There is, however, a common thread woven through the three referrals: moon, sap, and well-being. Just as high tides in water bodies are caused by a waxing moon that subside with the waning moon, absorption of water by plants also follows this cyclic pattern that results in healthy plant growth during the waxing phase of the moon. This could probably be the reason why vegetable markets in many regions of India are closed on the day of new moon. The practice of fasting on Amavasya, the lunar day of new moon, by the devout could also be attributed to this fact. Indra's function of regulating systems to work efficiently is aimed towards ensuring the system's longevity. Hence, metaphorically, Indra uses Soma to keep the earth system with all its inhabitants in efficient working condition, increasing its longevity or striving to make it immortal. Literally too, the ingestion of sap, Soma, invigorated by the moon, Soma, makes the Indra residing within mortals to make their bodies work efficiently. This is the basis of the assertion that all Soma is dedicated to Indra.
Mandalam 1, Suktam
30.
Rik 5.
स्तोत्रम् राधानाम् पदे गिर्वाहो वीरजस्य ते विभूतिरस्तु सुहृदा.
Master of prosperities, to whom invocations addressed, of whose hymn of praise, warrior, may his exaltation be pervasive. Praise, a recountal of truth. In the mortal realm, all activities have an agenda. We even breathe, eat, or rest this moment to be able to live the moment to come. Every successful breath, food intake, or resting is a cause for exaltation. Natural forces personified as gods, on the other hand, have neither such an agenda nor do they have any cause for exaltation. They merely execute their decreed directives wherever required, spontaneously. The mention of the exaltation of Indra is then the projection of mortal attributes upon human personified gods. It is entirely due to the natural forces that all that we consider as wealth, real or abstract, are created. Even our desire to acquire wealth, which are a series of thoughts and their consequent actions, are natural forces or God-driven. This reasoning certainly makes gods and Indra, designated by humans as the king of gods or the master of prosperities. Invocations and praises can be interpreted two ways. One is where the gods, being recognized as superior, are praised for this fact to obtain their blessings. The other is where there is a true understanding of the manner in which natural forces express themselves and work exactly in the same way everywhere and every time in the universe, without exception, inducing wonderment in us about existence, and recognizing this to be the greatest wealth that is freely available to anyone who desires it. Invocations and praise in the second instance is a recountal of this marvel to oneself, sharing it with other mortals and also living it euphorically. Anyone displaying vigor, courage and aggressiveness is called a warrior. Natural forces inherently exhibit these traits from the mortal perspective and so are referred to as warriors.
Mandalam 1, Suktam
30.
Rik 6.
वोद्भस्तिष्ठानभूतयेऽस्मिन् वाजे सदकृतो समन्येषु प्रभावहै.
Do stand tall for our assistance in this abundance. Doer of actions multitude, let both of us speak together in others. Abundances and ologies. Just as modern thought considers knowledge to be a collection of a diverse range of ologies, the distinctions making it easier to understand each separately and recognizing them to be a part of knowledge as a whole, Vedic thought talks of abundances of many kinds, all of which have the natural forces as a common factor, expressing themselves in different niches and situations according to local conditions. Like we get to see the effect of gravity, the laws of motions, the laws of thermodynamics, the gas laws, across subjects under natural sciences, so can we see the role of Agni, Vayu, Mitra, Varuna and Indra in every abundance. It is only the nomenclatures that differ between the two streams of thought. The principles are almost identical. In one, the exchange between the forces of nature and seekers of knowledge is in mathematical symbols currently in vogue, while in the other also it is in mathematical symbols disguised as metaphoric allusions and wordy flourishes. Each era has had its own preference of expression based upon its worldview and prevailing ground realities. Indra, as the coordinator of all divinities, natural forces, is looked upon for guidance and assistance as he stands tall among the gods in every abundance. We certainly communicate with natural forces every moment of our lives, albeit unknowingly. Perhaps doing so knowingly is the state of complete consciousness.
Mandalam 1, Suktam
30.
Rik 7.
योगे योगे तमस्तरम् वाजे वाजे हवामहे सखाय इन्द्रमूतये
In endeavor after endeavor, in gain after gain, friends, we call upon Indra, surpassing in strength, for assistance. Meditation and control. In the practice of physical and mental disciplines to gain knowledge, to attain union with the ultimate principle, there is this constant emphasis on attempting to be aware of every movement of our body and the purpose of such movement. This endeavor requires focusing of our thought upon a specific movement, the immediate organs that the movement affects, and the nature of those effects. This is indeed meditation. Upon the realization that it is our breath, pranavayu, constituting inhalation and exhalation, that essentially controls our entire body function, a correspondence is established between the conceptual Indra and our breath. We begin to understand that breath control can lead to body control. The Vedic premise that every subordinate system in existence is a fractal of its immediate parent system promotes a thought that leads to the extended notion that the arrangement and functioning of our bodies and the universe are identical. Further logical extrapolation would lead to the idea that controlling our body functionality with breath control will make it possible for an adept to understand the universe itself and unite with its controller and share his awareness and bliss. Indra being imagined as the representative of the formless, traitless, and unknown supreme in our domain of duality, according to Vedic thought, he is the one to be meditated or called upon in endeavor after endeavor, not only for breath control, but also for gaining knowledge in every distinguished field spanning existence. It is not that we do not do so. Development, as we see it now, could not have happened without such meditative effort, even if unknowingly. Perhaps doing it knowingly would control the desultory effects of development that we also experience and suffer. If you found this video informative and relevant, please like and share it. If you would like to see more such videos in this ongoing series, please do subscribe to the channel. Thank you for viewing.